All right, so hi. Thank you so much for coming to the party with us today. I am Laura Candell, and I'm so happy to be here to host this party. We like to start off with a quick cheers. If you happen to have a beverage with you, just a quick cheers to say thank you for joining us.
Cheers.
Welcome.
Cheers.
And let's party.
Awesome.
Cheers.
Isn't it bad luck to not take a sip after you cheers? So I'm sipping. We're excited today to be joined by all of the co-creators of Art Party Central. Kathleen Tesnakis from Ekologic Clothing and Accessories, Karla Gudeon from Karla Gudeon Art and Design, Sam Stone and Nora Swan from Swan&Stone Millinery, and Meghan Patrice Riley from Meghan Patrice Riley Jewelry. We are also super fortunate to have two mega talented artist friends with us as well. Barry Gross from BG Artforms and Lara Van Slyke from Lara B Designs. I know all of these talented makers from my 16 years producing contemporary fine craft shows in the Northeast, and I now get to follow them and share their work on my personal design blog on Instagram, which is Modern Handmade Design. Check it out. But enough about me. Let me just give you a sense of how this is going to all shake out today. In a minute, I'm going to introduce our first artist. They will give a presentation about their work, their inspirations, and whatever else they want to tell you about. I'll then ask them 2 questions that were previously submitted by their followers, and we'll rinse and repeat with the other 5 makers. At the end of the party, we'll raffle off one $50 gift certificate for each of the artist websites. That's 6 chances to win just for coming to hang out with us today. You do have to be present to win, so stick around. We will also give you a discount code, which will be good for 10% off of all 6 of the artist websites. So get your shopping fingers out. With whatever time we have left at the end, we'll open up the party just for chit chat, to say hi. At that point, you can unmute yourself to mingle. We've muted you all now. Don't be offended. It's just normal Zoom protocol. But feel free to chat in the chat box, which is usually at the bottom of your screen. Let us know what you're loving that the artists are showing you, or if you have questions, you can send them, and we'll do our best to respond. If we don't get to respond during, we'll respond afterwards. Since Zoom and being on Zoom is so new to so many and makes people slightly uncomfortable, I like to start off with a quick icebreaker that we used to do in youth theater when I was a kid to shake off the nerves. So when I say go, I love to ask for everybody to just make a funny face. Just make a funny face for 10 seconds. I also ask that you don't make me do it all alone. so you will please join me. And I'm going to say, ready, set, go. I don't know. I forgot you're all on mute. I'm making the crazy noises. Thank you for doing that with me. And now that we've all seen each other at our silliest, everything else is just easy. So it always worked in youth theater, and hopefully it makes everybody feel more comfortable here. So let's get to the fun stuff. And I'm going to send it over to Kathleen to start us off. Kathleen?
Myself here. Hi, welcome everybody. Thank you so much for coming. I'm Kathleen Tesnakis, and I am the owner and designer of Ekologic. And Ekologic is a recycling design studio. And what that means is I recycle old cashmere sweaters, and I wash and deconstruct them to create material. And then I actually take this material and collage together sweaters, hats, with mittens and all kinds of things. My studio is dedicated to zero waste. We really use the scrap waste of my designs to create new designs and manipulate the material into felt so we can make absolutely delicious, delicious fingerless mittens for the winter. My designs are also, you know, they push boundaries. Like these fingerless mittens are so loved by my customers. You can use your fingers when you need to button up, zip up, whatever it is. And when you're walking around, you tuck into that pocket so you're totally enclosed. Thumb kind of does that too. So our products are really, I mean, I've been doing this for 24 years. And if you asked me if I thought I would be bored with this by now, I'm not sure what I would say. But I have to tell you, recycling old clothing really inspires me. I get to see all kinds of crazy designs in the form of cashmere sweaters that inspires me on a daily basis. I get to see so many different textures and materials, and I get to manipulate those into the things that I want. So I also feel like, you know, being connected, using people's old clothes and transforming it into fabric actually is a real reflection of society, and I can reflect back the diversity that exists in our world, and that really floats my boat. I know we're all so unique, and we being able to express ourselves is critically important, and I love that people can do that in my work. So what else do I want to tell you? Yes, well, as a sustainable designer, I'm also thinking about where my materials come from, how far they travel, and all of these things. One really neat tidbit about my work is that all the cashmere I use to recycle actually comes from New York City, which is 150 miles away from my studio in upstate New York. So everything here that I make is done within 150 miles of travel time, no dyes, no chemicals, and we are at the point practically of zero waste in the studio, which has been a goal for many, many years. I'll be able to share that with you in the future. We're doing experimentation right now on that, but I'm just so excited about what's going on here in the studio. I also moved this year, and you know, we've all had a little bit of bumpy roads and things have shifted us in different directions, and I'm really, really fortunate to say that I was able to buy my own building, and we are really creating something special here. So I think that my 4 minutes is up. I'm not sure, but anyway, the material that's behind me is actually designated for garments. This is my premium material back here, and you can see all the different shades that I have. Well, what's interesting is I may only have a tiny piece of one specific color. It's my job to take the randomness from the waste stream and create absolutely beautiful things. I don't get to order. I just have to really use my mind to come up with fun things to actually utilize the material that comes through the waste stream. I think I'm ready for questions.
Fantastic. Thank you, Kathleen. That was so great. I love that orange sweater in the background.
Thank you.
So good. That color's phenomenal.
Turn her around for you.
Oh, hello. Peekaboo. So we have a couple of questions for you that were previously submitted. One is, how did you come up with the Ekologic concept?
Oh, that is so fun. Well, you know, this really happened to me in one day. I fell in love with recycling, I think on February 14th in 1996. As hysterical as that is. And I really created the concept of Ekologic during that moment. It was just an epiphany. And what brought me to that point is I found a statistic. I was living in Portland, Oregon at the time, and I found a statistic from the city government that said 100% of single-use previously owned clothing and textiles were nothing but landfill. They could not use it in any other form. And as a trained textile designer, that completely offended me. The fact that we were putting all these material into the world, we had no idea how to recycle polyesters and the synthetics at that time. No one was recycling the wools, which is a no-brainer to me. So I set out to offer people things that were recycled, I chose the wools and the cashmeres because they're heirloom fibers, and I knew that they would be products that I could invest energy in and that they would get passed down in families. And so here we are. I've recycled over 16 tons of post-consumer materials during that time. And today the number is something like 78% of the materials are landfilled as opposed to the 100%. So, we've made some tracks, and hopefully now we're gonna really push forward on these concepts.
Wow, you're amazing for coming up with all of that and making such a difference. I mean, that's a big impact for sure. The second question we have is, which feeds right into that, are you green or eco-minded in other parts of your life as well?
Yes, absolutely. I think once you go on this journey, you just start taking little bites, so you can't eat a whale in a day. You just take little bites and do that. So yes, I am very green. Those are the first questions that I ask when I'm purchasing something at the grocery store. I'm always looking for the things without the package. I'm not going to buy anything with plastic. I really spend most of my time in the produce section. And these are things that I've learned over this lifetime. I also have chosen the place that I live based on that information on what's sustainable for me. I live in a small upstate community that is a walkable city. So I can walk to my studio every day. I can walk to my downtown. I love the connectivity of supporting local. I shop at my farmer's market. So really everything we do revolves around how to be as sustainable as possible. And I have to say, it's so joyful, like connecting with farmers at the market. One of the things I did this year was actually grow a lot of my own produce. And I'd never had land in which to grow something. This just happened a couple of years ago. And I found out I have a green thumb. I've been able to share so much with so many. And that, again, is just warms my heart and makes my life better.
That's fantastic. What's your favorite vegetable you grew this year? Just real quick.
Well, it's the kale. I could just eat kale all day long. And the pear tree. My pear tree is actually becoming famous. People are showing up with bags. Pears, please.
Who do we have next?
Next it's going to be Sam. Sam is going to take off and tell you her story.
Hi, everyone. I don't know if I am in spotlight yet, but welcome again. And I'm so excited to be here. This is always so much fun. I am Sam Stone of Swan&Stone Millinery. And my partner, oh, hi, there I am. My partner, Nora Swan, and I have been making hats together for 10 years now. We met here in Vermont and we came to hat making. Yes, there's Karla in one of our hats. We came to hat making from very different backgrounds. Nora in New York City was already making hats. She was already a milliner, had gone to the FIT Millinery program and was making hats for Broadway and had her own label. And I was also living in New York City and organizing communities around parks and open spaces. So when we met here, I was living on a homesteady kind of farm and working with fiber and raising sheep. And we just sort of came together because it was kind of a perfect match, because we both came together with this desire to make timeless, exquisite hats and headpieces that allow us all to show our various inner selves, right? So a hat, more than anything, in our opinion, of course, because we're hat lovers and hat makers, a hat, more than anything, really does allow you to show the different facets of your personality. A different hat shows a different thing, not just a mood, but we have so many different parts of us inside of us. So for fall and winter, we work in mostly wool felt, and we hand steam and block on wooden blocks our felt hats, so our structured felt hats. We have a variety of blocks. We have crowns, we have brims, we can mix them up. Nora's actually started carving some of our blocks, so a lot of our shapes are completely unique to us. And another medium that we've actually started working on recently is canvas, and we've been sewing some hats. And so we actually have these really great, sorry, I decided I wanted to show a different one. These canvas hats that are waterproof. We have them in a variety of different shapes, but we can do applique on them. You can sort of bend them and shape them in any way that you want. But most recently, in response to kind of the environment that we're in right now, and as a way to kind of reconnect with our customer and what we all need right now, we've actually started combining. So when the pandemic first hit, Nora and I didn't know what to do with ourselves. We were sort of separated from each other, but also from you guys, from our customer. And so as kind of a form of mutual therapy, you guys needed masks, we needed to be doing something. We furiously started sewing masks. And then we entered into a collaboration with Karla, who's going to speak later, who actually started to create custom design fabrics so that our masks actually spoke to part of our mission, which is expressing yourself in what you're putting on your body, right? But then in response to kind of wanting to get back to our roots and our hats, we have started making these hats that actually have sort of this scarf that's a built-in mask. So you can tie the scarf behind you. It's the same, this wonderful canvas that's waterproof, sunproof, bendable. It fits all head shapes and sizes because it has a drawstring inside, and it's crushable, so you can throw it in your bag. And if you sit on it in your car, you're not doomed, but you can stretch it across and tie it in a little bow and run into the grocery store or whatever it is that you need to do. And then you can just, you're back to just a hat. So the scarf serves as a hat band in that traditional sense, but it also allows you to have a mask, but you're not just covering up your face, you're not covering up, where you most express yourself, right? So we've got, we're trying to meet all of those needs at once. So I am ready for some questions.
Firstly, you're genius. You guys are genius. That's so smart and savvy and combining all of the things that we need at once and making us look good doing it. So thanks for that.
Thank you.
So the first question we have for you is, who wears your hats and where do they wear them?
Oh, well, we get that question a lot in our booth, actually, is where can you wear this hat? So everyone wears our hats is what I'd like to say. There's a hat for everyone. And, where you wear your hat changes depending on who you are and what your hat is. So for me, it used to be that sort of my standard hat would be like this hat that is wool felted into wool fabric, super toasty, and I can wear it cross-country skiing, I can wear it wherever I'm going. But, quite honestly, I'll wear this wherever the heck I want to. So I think our customer, the people who wear our hats tend to be not afraid to be seen in some ways, but also wear them for such a variety of reasons. Sometimes it's just sun protection. And, oh, I like that. The answer is wear your hat on your head. Okay, that's enough said. Wear your hat on your head. Wear your hat wherever you want. As Nora likes to say, for some people, it only takes that, 1 second of courage, put your hat on your head, and then you're out. And now it's a conversation piece if you want it to be.
There you go. And along those lines, what is a good hat for someone that doesn't normally wear a hat?
Oh, the gateway hat. The gateway hat is a different hat for different people. So like I just showed you the soft, warm hat, we call it a kepi. That would be a gateway hat for someone like me who likes that feel of the weight on your head and the warmth. But honestly, for some people, some people don't wear hats because they feel like they overwhelm them because they're small. The person might be small. So maybe your gateway hat is a fascinator where you don't even feel it on your head. Maybe your gateway hat is a smaller hat that has a little bit less of a brim. But also something like this where it's sort of a more kind of tailored hat and it just goes with jeans and a t-shirt and just kind of dresses up your very simple outfit. That might be your gateway hat. So it's always for different reasons. So that's why we've been doing FaceTime appointments and things like that so that we can show you different hats on our heads, and Nora and I actually look quite different. Our face shape and our coloring is different. So we're able to kind of swap out and show you what it would look like.
I love that. The FaceTime appointments are really, it's the new wave, guys. If you need somebody to show you something more, just reach out. They're going to make those appointments happen for you. So just something to keep in mind. Who do we have up next, Sam? Who's following you?
Oh, I'm sorry. So next we're going to Barry.
Got to unmute, Barry.
Awesome.
There you go.
Here I am. All right. Anyway, good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for coming to the art party. My specialty are pens, as you can see here. For over 35 years, I worked as a sales manager for a medical company. And, you know, you hit that golden age and all of a sudden they throw you out the door. And so what I had been doing pens for about 25 years. And over 10 years ago, I said to my wife, I'm not going to go through this again. Let's just do this. And so that's what we did. We started, doing this full time. This is totally my profession at this point, is making pens. And, you know, one of the things I get all the time is that people will say to you, why a pen? We've got a phone. We got an iPhone. We got this. We don't need that. We can just plug in the number. And how many times have you sat there and said, can I borrow a pen so I can write a number down or something? So you do need a pen, okay? And I really don't call them pens anymore. I call them fine writing instruments because that's what they really are. And I've done this, like I said, for about 25 years. Right now, I travel all over the country. I teach woodworking. I teach pen making. I go to a couple different schools every year and teach. And we make them for ladies, for men. Everyone uses a pen. Professionals like to have a nice pen. You know, when I was in sales, I was a sales manager. I always carried a really nice pen until I started making my own. Then I really had a nice pen. And so some of the things that I do, okay, I use a lot of recycled materials. When I first started, I started out with wood and things like that. And then I graduated to different things, such as watch parts. And this is a pen made completely from watch parts. I take old watches apart, I recycle them. I take the pieces off one at a time. I glue them on the tube. There's hundreds of pieces. There are 100 pieces or more on this. This is a Frank Muller dial, if you can see that. Frank Muller makes a really beautiful watch. And so, I use those things. I use beer caps, wine barrels, whiskey barrels, cigar leaves. I make them out of all kinds of different things. This is one of the cigar pens that I make. And this just unscrews, and now you have a pen there. So, and plus this is a great conversation piece to put on a desk. So that's what we have with those. We also, as I said, we make them out of the whiskey barrels, and then I put the wine label or put the cigar label over top of it like this. And so this is an Ashton cigar with this. The pens are symmetrically made so your hand fits right in between there, and you can really write with them very nicely. They're comfortable for men, for women, everything. We've got themed pens. This is my wine theme pen. That's this. And then everything comes with a custom box similar to this. So the wine pen would go in something like that, which is really nice. We set these up, or I set them up for a number of different things. These are the ones I'm doing now. And these are that's for a doctor. I have this one for an attorney, the scales. So we've got a number of different things that you can work with. And how they're made is once I glue all the pieces on, I put it in a mold similar to this. I don't know if the light's reflecting on that or not, but I put it in a mold like this, and over 3 days it's poured. And when it's done, I just take this and I pop it out like that. And so now here's what I take and I put on my lathe and I turn this. This is a Rolex that we've done. So all of this is basically what I've been doing for all these years. And seashells, laser inlays. And these are cut. Here's one of the latest ones. I do, a cat and a dog series like this. This is for the dog lover. And then the cat lover, I have the same thing. These are cat and mouse. The cat's chasing the mouse around. So these are my play toys that I've been working with.
That's so great, Barry. Why
We
don't you show us one more?
do them for, here's a fireman pen.
That's
And this one is nice because the front is the actual fire hose and it locks in just the way a fire hose would.
we can't see it, unfortunately.
There you go.
There you go.
Sorry about that. I got that
Oh,
down.
very cool.
So, I mean, these are, and again, they come with that. You've got dragon pens. You've got all these different things that we work with. Circuit boards, you know, seashells, deer antler, pheasant feathers, snake skin. You know, I can go on. I make them with surgical knives. And since I was in the medical field all those years, I've collected different items. And the surgical knives are a real big one for surgeons. I do anesthesia ones. We do nurse anesthetist ones. So it's just, I have over 150 different styles, thin and thick. And the latest thing now is people are doing a lot of journaling. And these pens really are right nicely with journaling. You can have a rollerball, you can have a fountain pen. So there's all kinds of different ways to do this.
That's great. Well, just to follow up on that thought and ask you your first question, where do you come up with the ideas for your pens?
I'm a sick man. I come up with anything that I think that will work on a pen, I put on a pen. You know, we've tried all kinds of different things. Someone asked me if I could make one out of cat fur. It didn't turn out too well, but you know, there are things that you can do. I mean, we do pictures of grandkids, pictures of dogs, all those things. You know,
really wherever the inspiration comes from, you grab it and you go with it.
That's about right. Yep.
All right. And how long does it make you to take? I'm sorry. How long does it take
to make a pen?
To make one of your fine writing instruments?
That depends. I mean, when I do the watch parts and things like that, you know, when I put it in the mold, it takes. I do it over a 3-day period.
Okay.
So, I mean, for something like this, it takes maybe 6 to 8 hours to glue all the pieces on. And then, you know, it goes into the mold, you pour the acrylic over top of it, and it takes roughly 3 days to dry or so. Wow. So you've got that mess. One of the ones that I've done with beetle wings, that you can't really see that back there, but we've got that, abalone shells. So there's all kinds of different things I try all the time. Some things work, some things just don't.
That's life, right? I think we're gonna head over to who's after you, Barry?
Laura is after me. There she is. Look at that beautiful pocketbook.
Thank you, Barry.
Thank you.
Okay. Hi, everybody. So good to see you in real life, kind of. I'm so excited to be here, and thank you, Art Party Central, for having me. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Lara with Lara B Designs. I have a leather handbag business that I've been doing for about 5 years, with styles ranging from shoulder bags and totes, hobos style, a lot of crossbodies. I have clutches and pouches, and a new Avery wallet style. So today I'm just going to focus on a few different styles for you, and so let's just jump right in. With one of my favorites is the Phoebe. So this style has a very convenient outer cell pocket, handy for your mask, cell, glasses, a little back fringe detail, and then I offer it in two different ways. You can have the top zipper option or open top. So, and both of the styles come with a large interior zip pocket as well. And they're all made out of this yummy, gorgeous, lightweight leather. All of my bags are really lightweight. I don't use a lot of buckles or extra hardware or anything on them. So it keeps them real lightweight to begin with. So the next style I want to share is the Emma. And the Emma with this, I use the natural edge of the leather, of the skin. So every single one of these is special and unique and one of a kind. I also want to show you this one, which I think is gorgeous, because what I did was I imported an Italian fur. So this silver is an actual, it's the natural edge of the skin, and then it's backed with a black suede texture on there. And then with this style, there is a top zipper and an interior pocket, and you can wear it either crossbody. It has a leather adjustable strap, so you can do it, and it's detachable. So you can detach and always use it as a really cool clutch also, which is my favorite way of wearing it. So that's very fun. The next style I want to share is a fan favorite, the Clio. And the Clio, what I did was I took, I hand cut the fringe detail, or a kind of a wave detail, and put it on the front of the bag. And it's on the front of there's a large front pocket in here. It has a top zip and then an interior pocket as well with a zip. So a lot of pockets, people love the versatility of it. It also comes either with a really cool adjustable woven strap, or you can get it with a leather adjustable strap if you like. And I think that's all the time that I have for today. So I want to thank you for joining me. And if you have any questions, you can always find me on social media, my website, like Laura said, some FaceTime. I'm always happy to do some chats there, and visit my website. So any questions?
Yeah, I do have a couple of questions for you. That was great. I love that purple flap on the on that section. Yeah.
It's really
So yummy.
So yeah, and they're all unique. They have, this is another style or another flap. So you can see that they're totally different. So
that's the beauty of one of a kind. You know,
exactly.
It's yours. It's unique. It's what you love.
Yes.
I noticed that a lot of your bags have sparkle on them. What is that sparkle, and does it come off, or is it do you have to worry that you're gonna look like a stripper? Or sorry if that's inappropriate.
Love sparkle, and that would be fine with me to have it everywhere. No, it does not come off. I mean, here's a perfect example. This bag is the reverse leather. So on this side, the sparkle is actually a foil that's heat sealed onto the leather. So it doesn't come off in the rain. It doesn't come off on your clothes. It won't come off on your hands. It's in there. So, and this is so pretty because it's right on the textured side of the leather. And then on the interior is the smooth side. So it's so pretty. It's so buttery soft. So
I've had my hands on them in the past, and I can actually feel how soft they are right now, like in my head. I wish I had one. And then the second question we have is how does one clean their bag? I think leather is confusing for people. So
yeah. So with something like this, I always suggest professional leather cleaner. They are the ones that are going to know, if you get a salad oil or red wine or lipstick or something, they're going to have the know-how to apply whatever technique is needed to actually clean that surface. So if somebody really wants to put a conditioner or a spray on their bag, I always suggest doing it maybe on the interior, where just to test it first, because some of the leathers, they absorb different lotions and things at different spots, and I don't want it to be too spotty or turn out gross.
Okay, that's great. Well, they're really beautiful, and we're really glad you joined us.
Thank you so much for having me. Thanks so
Of course. And do we know who's next? Do we know?
Karla is next.
Hi, everyone. I'm so happy to be here. I'm Karla from Karla Gudeon Art and Design, and I have a line of original artwork and gifts for the home that I've been honing in my craft for over 20 years now. I used to be a school teacher and figured out that wasn't, well, I knew probably when I went into it, it wasn't my full passion. And it was at the time I had kids that I decided that how can I tell them to pursue their passions when I wasn't doing it? So I made the leap. And the way the artwork on the wall is done, and you can see I go big to I go really like miniature and detailed as well, is they're all hand-colored engraving. And the reason I chose that as my technique when I knew absolutely nothing about printmaking, so that was a beast getting to know that, was because it was really important to me to show some love to whoever was going to be buying my work and to make sure that I was giving out original art. And the idea of just painting one thing at a time and having to redesign for every sale wasn't going to be able to, I wasn't going to be able to earn a living that way. So it had to be multiples, but the idea of it being printed off a machine didn't work for me. I needed to know I was painting for my customers. So I went back a couple of hundred years to a technique called hand-colored engraving, and every piece starts off with a metal plate. And so from this metal plate that I've designed and carved, I ink it, wipe it, and pull it through a printing press. I'm going to see if I could quickly just turn the screen for a second. There she is. That's like my third child. That's my baby. And off that printing press, I level my computer. I make prints, and there's multiples, and then I go in with paint and I paint them. So this is a hand-painted engraving, and that's what the work on the wall is. And that allows me to do a lot of customizations as well. And this time in particular, where it's such a crazy time, and you know, everyone uses the word unprecedented, it's really the things my customers have said to me about what my work does for them in their home, that it makes them happy, that they don't forget it's there. One of my customers once said that my work sings to them. And, you know, for somebody who can't sing, that's like the greatest compliment ever. And I want my work to be happy and bring joy. So one of the things I've been doing during the pandemic is a lot more one-on-one, a lot more talking to my customers. What do you need? What do you want? So for example, this is a piece in my collection. It's Hebrew at the bottom for Tikkun Olam, which means repairing the world. And it has water, land, and sky because the whole world needs freaking repairing right now. But this particular customer wanted to give it to a doctor, to a healthcare worker. So we worked out the idea of putting the medical caduceus into the bark of the tree, which is something new that I had never done before. And again, with my miniatures, which have reached so many people, it was something that I developed 7 years ago when I was accepted into a holiday fair and wanted to have a gift item that was still hand-painted. And I started this collection called The Little Ones, of which I've designed over 100 small pieces. So for example, I have hope here, and this is very particular to this time, that I have hope, I have breathe, all the things we need to do right now. And then this is a symbol that I love. It's a hamsa, and it's called In Safe Hands. And I particularly love it because it crosses cultural and religious divides, and it means protection in every culture. So whether you believe in the juju or not, it's a really good message for the times right now that we can all share. Some of the other ones that I think convey those same sort of messages are the light in me honors the light in you, love wins, and one of my favorites, which I think makes the greatest gift, because who wouldn't want to hear this, is my 1 in a million. And I think that's a perfect sentiment for, you know, the people in our lives that we want to connect. And I think I'm ready for some questions.
It's so perfect that you ended on that one. You gave me that as a engagement gift, the 1 in a million, because I found my 1 in a million.
We discussed that, whether it was appropriate for engagement, because, you know, it's 1 in a million, not 2, but I really knew you, and you found your 1 in a million, and you said, this is what you'd love.
Yes, it was so perfect. So your first question that we have is, has your artwork changed much in the years that you've been doing this professionally?
Yes. It's changed a lot. I mean, we all like to think we grow and develop as artisans. So number one, I tend to like my newer work better than my older work. I tend to feel I've gotten more skillful. I tend to think it's more immediate. But one of the ways it's changed, I would say more recently than not, in the past few years, is when I first started, and for many years, I thought it was good for business to be, I'm going to use the words, apolitical, not really show all sides of who I am, be very careful. I don't want to offend this one. I don't want to offend that one. My work is just this completely neutral zone. And I have an office manager who's been with me 20 years, and we used to say, she used to babysit me and say, nope, can't do that, Karla. And in recent times, for a lot of reasons, and in fact, things that have gone on with me personally, I just feel it's not good for business, me or my customers, who I want to feel like they know me, and I want to feel they have every side of me represented with the art. So in a way, I kind of, Meghan, my office manager, and I kind of unleashed me. And I've been more open about who I am with my work. So an example of that might be my Naughty Feminist note card pack. And, you know, just this one picture alone will give you an idea of some of the cards that come in that pack. Little Miss Sunshine flipping the bird. And then I have my same gender wedding pieces. I have my Bootylicious, which are portraits of people I know in my life and what I think they would look like as birds. And in that same vein, and I think, you know, a lot of original people like a little original art can relate to this, normal is overrated. I've also opened up my work to product. So along with cards, where I never had product before, I have things like notebooks with my designs, because people always ask, can you give me something gifty, or, you know, with your artwork for something small? We'd love to introduce people to your artwork. So now I have these introductory items. I have women's poster sets, and I have 6 different kinds of poster sets. The 4 seasons, Hamses, pomegranates, all sorts of poster sets in the collection as well.
I love that you have small gift ideas like that. I think it broadens the range of people that you'll be able to reach with your beautiful work.
Thanks, Laura. It was like an easy transition.
Absolutely. The other question we have is, what do you miss and not miss about doing in-person art shows?
Well, I miss far more than what I don't miss. What I don't miss, the one thing that immediately comes to mind is like a rainy show in the mud and, you know, the physical aspect of a setup and a breakdown. But I miss the connections. I miss that look that a potential customer has when they see my work for the first time, that look that lets you know you've bonded with them in a way, an immediate meeting. And then I miss seeing my regular customers who, you know, we could stand in my booth and talk and feel like we've gone out for a cocktail together. And the things that make me do my work, that are relatable about my work, I hear incredible life stories when I'm at a show. So this, and then my friends, my show friends, nobody gets a Carney artist like a Carney artist. So the fact that we're able to spend time together and planning meetings and now putting on this, and now I get to see people through, also through FaceTime and Zoom consults over commission work, especially for something larger. But then my, you know, regular customers with these art parties, I'm excited to have this outlet at this time.
Absolutely. We're so glad you were part of coming up with this and have created this venue for us to be able to see.
Selfish, purely selfish. and I'm going to introduce our next fabulous, the fabulous Meghan.
Unmute. Hello. Hi. I had a little technical difficulties, but I'm back. Wonderful to see everybody. I'm Meghan Patrice Riley of Meghan Patrice Riley Jewelry. I'm in Brooklyn, New York, and we're in my art studio. I've been making contemporary jewelry for 10 years now, which feels unbelievable, but is also amazing. I was an economist before this, studied completely different educational background, never had a really formalized art training but I always really loved making things, and I was always playing. So after taking a bunch of metalsmithing classes and experimenting, I came up with a technique and design aesthetic where I incorporate industrial steel cables with little bits of gold, silver, gemstone. It is not common, you're right. It is like, Patrice is like, I'm named, Meghan is Margaret in Celtic, and Patrice is Patrick in French. So I'm named after two great grandparents. But what I'm doing is I'm taking like steel cables. So something that is really like around us all over the world. This is how suspension bridges are kept up in the world. It's this really fine steel cable. What's happening is that there's 49 miniature little strands of wire woven inside. So it's actually woven textile. So it makes it really strong and flexible. And I'm able to then cut it up and make little parts, like little, almost like chain segments, and incorporate pearls. And because of the material and my design aesthetic, it makes it really strong, flexible, and extremely light. So we can get really big earrings that feel like feathers, but have a really contemporary and elegant touch. Here I've been incorporating a lot of pearls. I have a bunch of pearls to show you, which is my more, I would say my classic line. I'm blending this very organic material, the pearls, which are just wonderful on the skin, feels nice, with this softer, more industrial material that I transform through my process and design aesthetic into something really feminine. So my pearl here, I've been doing really linear, large, super, almost like breastplates, which feel like protection during this time. Every piece has neodymium rare earth magnet clasp set with quartz crystals. So it's really easy to take the jewelry on and off. When we were traveling, so it's like amazing travel jewelry, because you could ball it up in your purse, throw it, you could sleep on it on the plane. It's so fun to squish them. It's hyperallergenic. You never have to polish it. It's easy. So I have these super crazy big ones, but then because I do work with a lot of professionals who wear my work, maybe like attorneys primarily, and artists, and designers, and architects. I've been doing really classic takes, almost on like German goldsmithing. They use a lot of like really beautiful gold and very geometric shapes, but I transform it with the materials that I'm using. And this has that same, see that really fun squishy property? I love that. So this is yellow gold over the steel cable. So even though it's yellow, I have all these different color applications. I'll have silver, gold, gunmetal, black. All that is nylon over the steel cable. So everything at the core has that really strong base of steel, even though it has different colors. Then each little part, each little binding is closed with a little bit of gold, and then I weave on freshwater pearls. I also have sterling silver. Some people are more gold, more silver. So I like to do some of these pieces in different colors. So I'll have this, but I'll also have a silver version as well. This usually pairs with really fun big earrings. So because it is so lightweight, I love doing a bigger earring. Again, very feather-like. And this just feels effervescent and light. This is great. So here I designed really special ear hooks. Oh, my time's up. Okay. I'm ready for some questions. I have more things to show you, but we'll go on to questions.
While you're in playing mode, are there
Yes.
any new pieces specifically that you're excited about?
Yeah, so good, because I did bring some.
Please show us.
This has been like I had 2 new collections since May launched. I did a whole collection about zip tie, like creative uses of zip ties and using off-cut parts. And that was a fundraiser for Crafting the Future, which is a arts organization benefiting, creating equitable opportunities in the arts. And then I've also been launching these knit chain pieces, which are, I hand knit and crochet industrial steel ball chain. So again, taking something really industrial, but softening it, making it feminine, making it really touchable and have a drape and feel comfortable. So this I made to fit your iPhone. I love that. And I also been doing mask chains. So something that you can attach to your mask and hold on to. And then when you have it on, it looks like a sunglass chain. But I hate taking my mask off when I'm out in the air. And I wanted something that feels like I'm always making jewelry out of everything. I know but this is like one of those new fun things. I've been doing them in particular with really lush gemstones, which feel almost like those worry beads. I've been feeling a need for that kind of comfort.
Yeah. I love the mask chains. It's so smart. Like, make everything fashion, as it should be.
Make it cute. Yes.
Make it cute. And those bags, I've been, loving them. Your second question is, how are you preparing for the holidays?
Ooh, well, we're getting prepared. We're having little mini launches coming up. So we're consistently producing and working. We've also been partnering with, we just got certified made in NYC. So we got partnered with Uncommon Goods. And we just launched a 2-piece collection with them for this month. And that's been really exciting. And our video is launching with Made in NYC also. So this is a little appetite palette cleanser before we get into November. And we're going to be doing more of these events. So I really invite everybody to sign up because we're going to have different artists every time. And Uncommon Goods is like a founding member B Corporation. They're along with all of our ethics and how they work. But I'm just so excited working with them. I'm also excited that we're going to be doing this because I think it's really wonderful. Again, like Karla said, to connect with our customers. This is crucial, you guys. We miss you so much. And to be able to show you things and show you our studios is really, this is awesome. We don't have this outlet anymore, and we're trying to recreate or create these new opportunities for us to connect.
So tell your friends.
Yeah.
Tell your friends to come and party. So thank you so much, Meghan.
Thank you, Laura.
So now that we've had time to hear from everybody, it's time to choose the winners of the $50 gift certificates. We are going to choose one winner for each of the artists randomly from everyone that's still on the call. If you are one of the lucky winners, please post your name and email address in the chat so we can email you your gift certificate after the event. Okay, here we go. So I'm going to do it in order of who started first, and then go from there. So the first artist was Ekologic Clothing and Accessories, and the winner of that gift certificate is, let me find out, admin has chosen for us, is Jim Clark. Congratulations, Jim. It's very exciting. If you could just type your name and your email address, that would be fantastic. Swan&Stone Millinery, the winner is Cindy Howard. Congratulations, Cindy. It's very exciting. Again, if you could put your name and email address in the chat, we'll get you your gift certificate. Okay, moving on to BG Artforms. Who is the winner of that is, just waiting for it to pop up, Aisha McLaren. Congratulations, Aisha. It's very exciting. Lara B Designs, the winner there is Peter Morjal. I'm sorry if I just butchered your last name. And okay, Karla Gudeon Art and Design. Christopher Richardson is the winner. Congratulations. I know it's weird being the only one talking. I see everybody clapping, but so everybody's really excited for all of you. And then the last winner for Meghan Patrice Riley Jewelry is Bobby Soroka. Congratulations, everybody. That's so exciting. And if you have enjoyed yourselves, keep coming to these parties. You'll keep being entered into these gift certificate raffles, and you never know. And because we want everyone to leave feeling like you've won something, you all will receive a coupon code for 10% off on all 6 of the makers' websites, which is great. And the coupon will be good from today through October 8th. So make sure to head over to those websites and do some retail therapy or find some great gifts. The holidays are not that far away, folks. The coupon code for today's party is Art Party Act 1. We'll type it into the chat there. After the event, we'll send everybody a follow-up email with the code and the links to everybody's websites, just so you have everything in place there. So thank you all for coming today. This was so much fun, and we look forward to having you at more of our parties. Our next party is next week, Thursday, October 8th, which will feature Karen Costin Jewelry, Z-Pots, Erin Draper Clothing, Iona Handcrafted Books, Karla Gudeon Art and Design, who's here with us today, and Swan&Stone Millinery, who are also here today. You can RSVP at artspartycentral.org. And again, invite your friends. The more, the merrier. So thank you again for coming. It was such a treat to see all of you. And we still have a couple minutes left. So if you want to unmute yourselves and we can all chat.